So seventh house. Now seventh house is like the first house and seventh house. They are like the midpoints of a chart. They are on the middle part, right? If we draw a line from first house to seventh house, we can divide the whole birth chart into two parts equally, right? So it's like the first house is when your soul enters in this materialistic world, in this bhuloka. So it's like the entrance, and it's like the starting of your journey. Your soul is starting the journey from the first house, and it's coming from the first house to the sixth house, fulfilling all its materialistic desires. But now, the seventh house is like, what is the symbol of the sign which falls in the natal chart in the seventh house? That is Libra, Tula. That is a waiting machine. So it's like you have to make the balance in, we have two things. From first house to sixth house, it's the materialistic journey. From eighth house to 12th house, it's the spiritual journey of the soul. Now, why we are in trouble? Why we are struggling in our life? Because none of us have the balance of these both things in our life. If we can make the balance between these two things, we can be happy. We can find that inner happiness. Okay. So, seventh house is all about having that balance in your life. Okay. Now, it's how to find that balance. We have to understand the bitter truth of this life and the universe. Seventh house is opposite to the first house. It means everything or everyone which is opposite to you or to the first house, that will fall in the seventh house. So first house is all about me, or like being alone, right? You are alone in the first house. So seventh house is about having partners, building a team. Also, seventh house is the house of your people who are opposite to you, okay, who oppose you, your open enemies who just confront you that, yeah, we are your enemies and you have to deal with us. Either you will lose or we will lose, just like that. So, here, your open enemies you can see. Also, seventh house is about partnerships. Either it's a business partnership or a relationship, whatever. It is all about the partnership. And it is the house of marriage. That is the divine partnership between male and female, between two souls. So it is the house of marriage. So you can see your husband or wife, or when you are gonna get married, then seventh house will play a very important role when you have to check your marriage in the birth chart. Now, in any partnership or in any relation, one will gain, another will lose. It is, both can't win. That's almost impossible. But that is the balance. That is the balance when both will win. Now, fifth house is 11th from the seventh house. So, fifth house, it's very important house, very beautiful house. It's one of the Lakshmi Sthana, the Trikona Bhava, and it's the most beautiful house. They praise it. Rishi Parashara, he praises it. It's a beautiful house. But here, when we are talking about partnership, fifth house is the worst house you can focus on. Why? Because seventh house is your partner, the person opposite to you or your open enemy, and fifth house is 11th from seventh. So it is the gain of your enemy or your partner. So ultimately, your enemy will win. or your enemy will have some gains, your partner will have some gains more than you, how much you have. So ultimately, in astrology, we have to understand nothing can be always good. Okay, even when they say Kendra Bhavas are good, they are not always. We can see seventh house is not so good. Fifth house is a Trikona Bhava. Still, we can't say it's always good. So nothing can always be good. Okay, in marriage, fifth house can be good because in marriage, what you want your wife to have gains from you. Any person, if you give money to your wife, you don't care. You are giving your babies to your wife, that's good, that's not bad. You are giving your property as a gift to your wife, that is good until you plan to take divorce, that's good. So if you want your partner to have gains, then seventh house having a relation with fifth house, that is good. But if you want your enemy or your partner to lose, then the relation, if you find a relation between the seventh house and fifth house in the chart, that is not good at all.